and we would all gravitate towards the fact that there is a gift that meets us in our struggles, whether it is personal, or social, or political, or whatever. There is a gift that helps us deal with our own personal power outages. I'm excited that I'm here now. There's no power outage. We live in a hotel where they put a card in the thing and the light goes on, and the other day my wife left and she pulled the card out and the light went off, and I said, oh my goodness. We are blessed by a gift of light that is so much brighter than all of the candles, all of the lights that we see shining, flickering in our homes, on our Christmas trees, on our streets. And what is even more encouraging is that when we think about this gift of life and light, is that there is no amount of darkness in the entire world that can extinguish that light. And we know that. We have seen it when we light up a match. As small and as tiny as it is, it destroys the darkness. We see it when we sit at a table and we see the flickering of a candlelight. It looks like it's about to go out. And yet we see it brightening the place where it is. Or we see it when there's a tiny little crack and there's a little ray of light that peeps through just to remind us that we are not lost and alone. And isn't it amazing that that light can transform our darkness, your darkness, my darkness, into new opportunities? And isn't that the message of Christ and Christmas? That Christ, the light of the world, has come so that the people who walk in darkness, people who are dealing with unemployment and financial difficulties in a country that has corrupt leadership, will know that this cannot live forever. That someday there will be a turn. Someday new light will come into this beloved land and things will change. And it will transform the dead ends that we find ourselves in into new opportunities and new places in which to go, making whatever seems impossible possible. Now, I'm not suggesting for any moment here that this transformation that the light brings will happen overnight. What I am suggesting is that we are all around and we all know that things happen. We all know that all things can pass away and that all things can indeed become new. And we can testify to that because we have read about it in our history books. When we read about the fall of the Roman Empire or the change in Nazi Germany, or we have all lived through the fact that apartheid could not live forever. And we see it happening in Syria right now. And you may have other testimonies of where light transforms the darkness. And I have to tell you that I am so encouraged and I'm so excited when I meet your children and your children's children, and I listen to their stories, and I recognize that they are so much further on their career paths than when I was around and when we grew up and when we were doing what we were doing. Because the reason Yun and I are in South Africa at the moment is because we were invited to come and celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Aldersgate Methodist Church in Kimberley that I had built 40 years ago. Now, do I look 40? But they invited me to come to celebrate the 40th anniversary. And I was absolutely amazed when I listened to people's stories and how they tell me about things that I had said and done that changed, transformed their lives, their marriages, and so forth. And I said, yeah. Did I say that? But as we traveled around the country and we listened, I was excited to meet one of the members, and she used to be a youth in the guild when I was in Kimberley. Today, she's in Port Elizabeth, and she's part of the ANC, and her son, Liam Jacobs, is a member of Parliament. Another one of those people are the head of the Agriculture Department of Kimberley, dealing with water issues. Another is an inspector of schools. Another, an advocate. I gave a young lady in Kimberley 200 rand when I was there. She came to me, she said, I want to apply to medical school. But my mother does not have the 200 rand that I need to give as a deposit or whatever.